Right now, we're ready for a giant of a match, which is my way of saying here's Boyd Pierce to tell you about it.
This event, 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. At 300 pounds in the corner, the heavy artilleryman from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Hank Patton. And across the ring, in the red corner, from Grenoble, France, at 500 pounds plus, Andre the Giant. The referee, Nick Kozak.
There is wrestling's answer to the Hulk, I imagine. But Andre the Giant, 7'4", just about 500 pounds. You know, when you get that big, 50 pounds one way or another doesn't really make any difference. Heavyweights are not always weighed before a match. As a matter of fact, they rarely are, because there is no weight differential that is to interfere with a match. But Andre the Giant couldn't find normal scales anyway. But this is a 2 out of 3 fall match. And as Andre advances toward Tank Patton, you see Patton bouncing around and trying to sense just what Andre is able to do. But one thing you've got to remember about Andre is that he can move. He is not just a big man. He is a man with amazing coordination. Oh! And when he pushes something, he pushes hard. Patton trying to argue that his hair was used in that fashion, but this is not necessarily so. You see Andre now with a side headlock. Now, Hank Patton is wearing a protective orthopedic appliance on his left forearm. He suffered a broken arm. But actually, that arm was broken just about 3 months ago, and there have been a lot of complaints that this is just a device for him to use in applying illegal holds to his opponents. This is the opinion of most of the wrestling experts, and yet nobody has been able to get a totally official sanction to force him to take it off. I think nobody wants to be in a position of telling him that he's got to wrestle with an arm that could break again. Not quite sure. Andre, that time, just taught Tank Patton a lesson. He just backed right into him and really caught him hard, solidly. There's Tank Patton. I'll tell you, he wished that he was in a tank at the time that he hit Andre the Giant that time. He's complaining about the weapon that Andre the Giant used that time. The weapon was just the huge derriere that is part of the 500 pounds of Andre the Giant. Referee Nick Kozak tolling the count here and gets Tank Patton back in, and Andre now takes a reverse full Nelson. And he goes now to take the arms. Look at the size of that man. Now, Tank Patton's a big man. He's a 270-pounder. And in anybody's league, that has to be considered to be a big man. But when you're in there with Andre, you're out of your league. You're out of your skull sometime, I think. The things that work on normal-sized individuals do not necessarily work on Andre the Giant. See Patton trying in vain to fight his way out. Patton wants the hold broken because his feet are on the ropes. And Andre broke it. He's not a man to argue the point. He just dropped him away, and that was it. So Andre now knows that Patton is vulnerable. He has found that vulnerability in an awful lot of people. Patton front headlock, while Andre reaches around there and takes that body and starts to put the squeeze on it. The twist on the head of Andre the Giant. And here as Andre just lifts him up and throws him away. And if there happens to be a world's record for tossing somebody, why, maybe he could get it. Waistlock. Again, turned it into a bear hug. I don't know whether a bear would be as proficient at applying the hold named after him as Andre could be with that powerful waist lock that comes with just having the power of 500 pounds. Andre caught one in the back of the neck that time with that, shall I say, broken arm, and he hit him a rabbit punch fashion. 5 minutes have gone by. This is the first fall of a 2 out of 3 fall match. And as Andre hit into the ring that time, he caused an awful lot of problems around here. The ring moved, and Tank Patton's hat fell off the ring post and almost caused a war casualty. Andre trying to set him up. Whoa! And these fellas are really going to test the rings here at the Coliseum. Andre with a headbutt. I was going to say, what is there besides a headbutt that you could call it when the head is just about twice as big as an ordinary headbutt? And Nick Kozak has decided that the use of the cast by Tank Patton.
6 minutes, 3 seconds, Andre the Giant.
He has decided that the use of that cast is illegal, and that he used it illegally, and he is disqualified. The first fall goes to Andre the Giant, which is very little solace for the way he must feel, because when you catch a rabbit punch, I don't care if you're 500 pounds or whether you are 200, you're going to feel it. We'll be back here in a moment after we have this word from the studio. So now, with less than a minute remaining in the intermission period between falls, Andre the Giant is on his feet. Tank Patton has aroused this huge man. The bell has not yet sounded, and Andre has his eye on the Tank and wants to do something about it. He wants to get at him, and he looks down at referee Nick Kozak, who is 225 pounds. And a fair-sized man in anybody's country, but in this country, it's giant country. Look at the way he towers over Nick Kozak. Patton trying now to work that arm with the cast again to his advantage, but he didn't get away with it in the first fall. He was disqualified, and the Giant stood up, and that is a far piece from the top of Andre the Giant down to the mat. Andre now with a surfboard hold and using that big head of his, and he is mad enough now to do damage to Tank Patton. You see him as he lays it in there and has that huge size 22 foot of his on the back of the Tank. And the Tank, again, would probably like to be wrapped in the skin of one of the vehicles after which he has adopted his name. And, hey, a great wallop by Andre the Giant as he brought that arm down on the head of Tank Patton. Patton is down, and Andre lays his weight where it'll do a lot of good. And, oh, he just bounced on him with 500 pounds, and Tank Patton rolls out of the ring. Andre went up and came down with his weight, landed 2 feet on the cast of Tank Patton, just laid it in there, and Patton is on the floor, and the Giant stands in the ring. He's going to get the count of 20 on the floor. He is up, but the arm is close to his body. He is waving at the referee and going around the ring, and the match ends with Andre the Giant
turning inside the ring, the winner of the second fall in the match, 1 minute 59 seconds, Andre the Giant.
He turned that cast on Patton's arm into a boomerang. And there you have the end of Tank Patton's effort to upset Andre the Giant.